Tonight on TBN. With the bird flu epidemic spiking egg prices for the foreseeable future, the Masters Dining Hall isn't immune. Join us to see how the dining hall has adapted. The Diamond Challenge, the world's leading high school entrepreneurship competition, was hosted this year at the Master School. Students had the opportunity to pitch their ideas to experienced entrepreneurs, competing for a cash prize of $12,000. Over spring break, students and teachers experienced a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to explore the beautiful nature of Belize through a 9-day trip. Another group of students and teachers flew to China, visiting a local school and sightseeing around the country. Felipe Queiroz is back with a 3-minute drill. He dove into the best moments of this winter season, capturing the best of Masters athleticism. All this and more next.
Good evening, and welcome to the Tower Broadcast Newsroom. My name is Gus Creech.
And I'm Azara Charles. We are recapping and following the latest news. A nationwide egg shortage has affected practically every household in the U.S. But how is it affecting our dining hall? Turns out we eat more eggs than you might think.
Eggs, a breakfast staple, have been in short supply in the United States, with the price more than doubling since September of 2023 due to bird flu. At Masters, the dining hall serves 3 meals a day, and for breakfast, students have access to a hot bar that serves scrambled eggs along with a cold buffet, offering hard-boiled eggs among other typical breakfast items. In one corner, there's even a made-to-order omelet station for all students and faculty.
I think if you've come in the dining hall, you'd see that the eggs are still there. You still can go to the omelet station. You can still get scrambled eggs on, the hot bar. Shell eggs, which is the eggs that you'd crack, for like an omelet, we're going through about 45 dozen per week.
If I have an omelet, I probably have 2, maybe 3 eggs at a time. I probably eat eggs or something made with eggs probably every day.
Usually 3 to 4 eggs I think I consume.
On the weekends, I eat 2 fried eggs.
If I don't eat enough eggs, I don't get enough protein, so it's quite important for me to eat a lot of eggs.
Typically, shell eggs are delivered twice a week. Liquid eggs come about 4 times a week, and hard-boiled eggs twice a week. So we have eggs coming in pretty much all the time.
I've not really noticed a difference at Masters, but I guess when I'm buying eggs at the grocery store and whatnot, I have.
The cost of eggs has increased a lot, and I think we're conscious of whether we need to buy eggs or if there will be eggs available at the grocery store in ways that we weren't before.
Lee Bergelson, the general manager of dining services at the Master School, says the school will continue serving eggs without restriction, despite the price increase.
The impact that it's had is simply cost. So, how we operate our budget, we've had to become a little bit more strategic about where we maybe need to cut costs in some other places that are maybe less noticeable, so where people can still come in and get eggs without any, concerns about being able to get the breakfast that they like.
The school purchases around 2,000 eggs per week. Despite the shortage, eggs remain a staple on students' plates. Although supermarkets around the country are seeing egg shortages, Masters has kept eggs cracking. This was Gus Creech reporting for Tower Broadcast News. The most amazing fact I learned while doing research for this story was that we eat 2,000 eggs per week.
Wow, that's a lot of eggs. But thank you, Brock, for doing such an excellent job keeping up with the high demand.
Next, the world's leading high school entrepreneurship competition comes to the Masters School. 4 of our own students competed in the Diamond Challenge, pitching their ideas for a new company. Ben Mason and Devin Patel share more.
In recent years, Masters has begun hosting the Diamond Challenge. We spoke with competitors and coordinators to learn what the competition is all about.
The Diamond Challenge is the world's leading entrepreneurship competition for high school students. We have teams participating from all over the world, including sites in China, the Middle East, Europe, and the United States. Last year, we were selected because of our leadership in high school entrepreneurship education by Horn Entrepreneurship, who runs the Diamond Challenge, to be one of only 4 pitch partners in the United States. What a pitch partner is, it's kind of the semifinals to the Diamond Challenge. This year, we have 32 teams coming to Masters, and first place teams will win $12,000. Not $12,000 in scholarship, $12,000 in cash to invest in their businesses.
2 teams are representing Masters in this year's challenge: Helen Gao and Gabriella Lee, and Mason Dweck and Dylan Glazer. Before the competition kicked off, we caught up with Mason and Dylan to hear all about the app they've been working on.
PolitiConnect is simply for users or constituents to really understand what their elected officials are doing, from the State House to Capitol Hill nationwide. With PolitiConnect, we have a state feed, as Mason was saying, a federal feed, right? And with that state feed, you can see your state representatives and your state senator. Federal feed, you can see your federal senator, federal representatives, and you can see the bills that were either introducing the House, introducing the Senate, kind of in a neatly categorized way. Now there are over 9,000 politicians in the PolitiConnect database, and that is pretty much covers every single state politician and every single federal politician. I wouldn't say created the app with the intention of Diamond Challenge. That was kind of like more of an afterthought. Mr. Kyoto did plant the idea in our ears, but it wasn't the intention. Yeah. And then we got the notification on Valentine's Day, and that was probably the best thing that happened. It doesn't really matter if we win tomorrow, right? I mean, if we win tomorrow, wow, awesome. But, the intention is not to, necessarily win competitions. The intention is really just to bring political accountability, really across America. The fact that the Diamond Challenge saw our vision and said, yes, we want these guys to compete, and they saw something in us, it really means a lot to us, and we don't take that lightly. And as Mason said, we're just happy to be here and to get PolitiConnect more spread, to get people actually to know about our app, because it's great.
After the competition, we caught up with Helen Gao and Gabriella Lee to learn more about their project and gain some insight into their Diamond Challenge experience.
Our product is Ocean Bloom.
Our product's purpose is basically protect the ocean environment by using 3D printing to print out the artificial coral reefs.
We get into Diamond Challenge because we will receive a notifications from school. I think for being the only 2 team in the Diamond Challenge, it's really good for a school small Masters, because we only have 600 students, but we have 2 teams out of only 300 teams around the globe are finally selected. So it's our honor.
While none of the Masters teams advanced in the competition, they gained valuable experience and connected with entrepreneurs worldwide. These interactions will undoubtedly benefit their future endeavors.
Wow, what an amazing opportunity for our master's students.
Yeah, congrats to the 2 teams on the big accomplishment.
Over spring break, 2 groups of students traveled to Belize and China respectively, where they got the opportunity to explore the 2 countries. Here's a look into the culture, scenery, and experiences they got to enjoy.
From trekking bats to snorkeling in coral reefs, students participated in a range of ecological activities on a spring break trip to Belize. For many students like Wei Hu, the journey was full of firsts.
I think this trip is important because it is very different from the experience that I had before. There's a very different ecological environment and nature from my hometown, so I am very excited to experience this different place.
While the trip aims to enrich students' spare time, it's also pushing them out of their comfort zones in unexpected ways.
My first meal in Belize, I think I'm getting garlic sated shrimps. I'm not sure how it will go, but it sounds really interesting.
From adventures to personal milestones, Belize is a trip of challenges. Sarah Sylvan, Emma Barnes, and Sam Huang shared something new they tried.
This is my first flight. I'm pretty excited and a little bit nervous. I don't know, I just hope that it's comfortable and that I'm able to get some sleep. I haven't slept.
For me, it was actually my first time traveling out of the country. I used to live in another country, but this is my first time vacationing out of the country. And I also did try a lot of new food because it was the kind of trip where you just eat what you get. So I tried a lot of different fish, which I'm not much of a fish eater. It was actually really good.
Things I did for the first time include snorkeling. I had very limited experience with snorkeling, but on this trip I saw a lot. a lot of coral reefs, a lot of fish, and even some garbage that may be harming our environment.
Whether it's facing fears or creating new friendships, these firsts are becoming lasting memories. As the Belize trip wraps up, students are picking more than just memories. They're bringing home fresh perspectives, new skills, and stories they will share for years.
Ni hao! 15 master's students visited China over spring break. The students visited the Xi'an boarding school in Xi'an and participated in culturally immersive experiences such as fan art and singing in Mandarin. The master's students took part in a homestay exchange program where they interacted with students and teachers in classes and extracurricular activities. They even got the chance to visit the terracotta warriors of China's first emperor. Before leaving, the master's students stayed in the preserved scenic district of Wuqian. This experience expanded their understanding and appreciation of a whole new culture.
I think this trip is important to learn about different cultures and to gain new experiences.
This is my first trip at Masters. I'm a little nervous of flying. I've flown before in the past, but I don't know. It's even longer now.
This is my first longer trip with Masters, but I went on the debate trip a few weeks ago.
Some concerns, probably the food, because it's so different over there. You don't know what the street food is made of or what it contains. But I'm excited to try. I always like to try new things.
I want to go on this trip to learn new things and to try something new. I'm a little nervous and excited because I don't really know some of the cultural norms, and I don't speak the language, but I'm excited to meet new people and kind of be very exposed to a new culture.
We went to Xi'an, Wuhan, and Shanghai. The most important thing that we learned on that trip was kind of how to integrate cultures. It was very interesting, kind of exciting, getting to know how the culture of China affects their lives in a different way. What I was able to most take away from the entire cultural exchange was better sense of connection and unity. There's a lot of divide between American culture and Chinese culture, but doing this trip allowed us to kind of bridge that gap. I'm so happy that it was my first experience with it because it was honestly just so wonderful.
As their journey came to an end, they left with new friendships, unforgettable memories, and a deeper appreciation for the power of connection between different cultures.
I want to try some of that Chinese street food now.
It looks so fascinating, but I don't know about the bats.
Felipe Queiroz is back at it again with the all-new 3-minute drill, recapping the best moments from the winter sports season.
Welcome to the 3-minute drill. Usually we have 2 minutes, but with 12 teams and so much exciting action this winter season, we're going to need more than just 2 minutes. So I'm Felipe Queiroz, and I'm here to recap the top plays, players, and teams for the winter season. So let's start the countdown. 3, 2, 1. Boys varsity basketball had a hard-fought season, finishing with an 8-14 record. The most exciting moment, a huge upset win over number 2 seed Greenwich Country Day in the quarterfinals of the FAA tournament. Although they lost in the semifinals, this team showed resilience throughout the season. Congratulations to Amari Levy and Luke Braun for receiving FAA first team honors. Girls varsity basketball team had an outstanding season, finishing with a 13-5 record. Their journey ended in the quarterfinals against Greens Farm Academy, but their performance throughout the season was nothing short of impressive, with standout performances like Gala Garcia and Emma Barnes leading the charge. Boys varsity squash had a strong season, finishing with a 7-6 record, making a statement at nationals with a 3-1 run. The biggest highlight, Alex Thorne, Gus Creech, Hazan Saad going undefeated in the tournament. While they did place 9th overall, they didn't leave empty-handed. They won the consolation bracket at the 6th division, providing strength on the national stage. The girls varsity squash team had a competitive season, finishing with a 3-7 record. A highlight of their season was a thrilling 4-3 victory over St. Luke's, coming down to the nail-biting finish with one final win to decide the entire match. Star player Sophie Camacho was constantly the top seed, leading the team in skill and sportsmanship. The girls fencing dominated with a 6-1 record, providing strength across the board. At the ISFL Individual Championship, Ellie Heiss took 3rd in girls foil and Eunice Wang secured 3rd in girls epic. The team shined at the championships, with girls foil placing 2nd and girls epic claiming the 1st overall spot. And congratulations to Eunice Wang, finishing the season with the #1 epic fencer in the entire league. On the boys' side, the team battled through a tough schedule, finishing with a 2-3 record. At the ISFL Individuals, Matthew Van Wright, Milo Walsh, and Nico Levy all placed 8th in their respective division. A strong effort from the squad all season long. The swim team had an outstanding season, breaking 10 school records and showcasing their talent in the pool. The most exciting moment, a series of incredible performances at the NICEA's Championships. At the championship, Eris Urkel placed 4th in the 100 butterfly and 3rd in the 100 backstroke, showcasing their versatility in the pool. Fiorin Bryan made waves, finishing 3rd in the 200 IM and claiming the 1st in the 100 backstroke. And Giselle Dorsling placed 2nd in the 100 freestyle and securing the 1st place spot in the 200 freestyle, earning a spot in some of the toughest races. Indoor track and field team continued this trend by breaking 15 school records and finishing with some incredible performances. The most exciting moment, Henry Frasca setting school records in the 600 meter and 800 meters with times of 120 and 155, some of the best times in the entire United States. Although they faced some tough competition and the team showed incredible resilience and strength throughout the season. At the NICEA's Championships, Nicholas Mustafas placed 1st in the 55 meters, Henry Frasca earned the 2nd place spot in the 600 meter, and Jamie Millward placed 4th in the 3200 meters. To top it all off, the 4x400 relay team finished 2nd, and the 4x800 relay team came in 3rd place overall. And congrats to all the other JV1 and JV2 teams for finishing an incredible season. That's all the time we have today for 3 Minute Drill. I'm Felipe Queiroz. Thank you so much for watching TBN.
A big congratulations to all the winter athletes on an amazing season.
Going to nationals with the squash team was such a great experience. I'm going to miss my seniors though.
And that's all we have time for here tonight on Tower Broadcast News. Thank you so much for tuning in. Remember to subscribe to Tower Broadcast News on YouTube and follow @Masters Tower on Instagram.
Thank you to everyone who helped make the segment possible. Stay tuned for more school and local community coverage. I'm Gus Creech.
And I'm Azara Charles. And from all of us here on the TBN staff, have a great night.